Hey guys, thanks for listening into Utterly Unfiltered Podcast.
You with Tash and Cara. Happy
go.
Monday.
Yeah, I think we're getting the hang of this.
I feel like
Slowly
it.
but surely, possibly.
I'm going to watch these back when I edit them and be like, oh, for God's sake.
Re-record.
I still keep catching myself going, yeah, 100%. Stop, Tash. Stop.
But we all have those quirks. I sigh a lot when I'm like, We could make it a drinking game, though, couldn't we, one day? Maybe
Honestly,
not.
take a shot every time I go,
Oh my god, by the end of it, you won't be able to say anything. So, at least we're having somewhat composed sentences here and there.
Mouth tape over myself so that I stop. But then I won't be able to talk, so that'll be useless.
That would be, then it would just be me talking at everyone for 30 minutes, which nobody needs. No one wants that.
How's your week been, Cara?
Yeah, good, thanks. Not bad. Just same old life.
She's been on holiday.
Yeah, I've been to Cornwall, which was amazing. My dad's 70th birthday. We all dressed up as different versions of my dad from his lifetime.
Which one were you?
I was Magic Pops. My nephews and niece call him Pops. Granddad, you know, the sort of version of. And he does little magic tricks at all their birthday parties. I don't know why he took that role upon himself, but he did, and he's doing it very well. He just wears this like wizard outfit and this wig, and he goes all out for it. So that was me.
That's so sweet.
But there was Safari Pops, because he was a game ranger in South Africa. There has been snorkeling Pops. There was Party Pops. And there was Butterfly Pops.
Was there surfer?
There were no surfers.
No.
There was DIY Pops.
Nice.
There was no surfer Pops. So it was awesome. It was really good. I am exhausted. I have 4 nephews and a niece, and I love them to pieces. They are busybodies. Mm-hmm. They have lots of energy, and I'm not claiming that I had to do the running around. I'm not the parent. Obviously, it's harder for the parents, but I guess it's just trying to keep active all day and so that they have things to do and to be entertained by.
And you are a built-in babysitter, aren't you? So.
Well, in theory, I'm not always very good at it because I just kind of get a little bit distracted with the things that I want to do in Cornwall, like go to the beach and eat ice cream and drink pims. So yeah, I need to. There is room to be improved there. But it was really good. I'm also in the midst of recording an EP, so I'm trying to focus. I'm doing like a lot of thinking about my branding. I have a photo shoot this week coming. We're rebranding it, guys.
Have you thought about your rebranding?
I have. I need to really get it. I've got my Pinterest board going, and I need to get some advice on it from like the photographer and how I'm gonna carry it out. But I'm leaning into the sort of dark and whimsical, and just I very much started out writing folk music. Right, this is gonna feed into my sort of. What do we call it? What are we calling this? Like,
I don't know who needs to hear this.
That's the one. So this is going to feed into that, right? I started out writing folk music because it felt like me and authentic, and I kind of could sort of explore how I was feeling, but in a very safe, contained way, in a very filtered way. Not in a very utterly unfiltered way. But I am now at the point in my life, I suppose, like anything, your art form follows the period that you're at and you know what you're actually what you have going on, and I'm now embracing and being a little more bold, I think, and courageous in how I'm describing how I feel. So very much we're tapping into some darker themes, nothing like too intense. It's actually a little bit more jovial in the sense of it's like children's fairy tales. You know how like the darks of Hansel and Gretel and being lost in a forest, and that's the one. So kind of dark twist, but having fun with it, and being okay with the fact that people are going to look at me and listen to it and think, what the fuck is this? But that's the point, and I'm embracing it now. At this point, I'm embracing it. So literally, nice little bridge into my who needs to hear this.
Well, I'm going to interrupt you just slightly because I'm going to do something which is going to drive you insane. But you just said about your branding. I'm gonna have to do this, I'm afraid.
Oh no!
I have recently got into astrological branding.
Astrological branding?
So this
sounds
insane.
Astrological, like the stars.
Yeah. But I actually can't not share this with you because I feel like it's my duty.
Do it.
And quite frankly, I want to save you the time, effort and money of branding and then having to redo it again in the future when you've changed your mind.
Okay.
Because
As you do. Yep. I changed my mind a lot.
I went down a rabbit hole the other day on personal branding.
Okay.
Obviously with this podcast and just, thinking about what my personal brand would be. And also style as well, because I've never really known my sense of style. It's
I'm just
no clue, right? Yours is exactly the same, aren't you?
every day is different.
Yeah.
For me.
And I've never worked out exactly what I like on me.
Okay.
But I went down this rabbit hole, and so with astrology, you have like your star sign, your sun sign. So I'm like a Libra, for example.
Okay.
Do you know what yours is?
Aries.
Aries.
Water.
So you also
fire.
have
I'm fire.
No, Aries is water, isn't it?
No, I'm fire.
You're fire. Oh,
I think I'm fire.
She's like, I am.
I am.
Well, this is the thing. So you also have your rising sign and your moon sign. And your rising sign depends on the time you were born. Do you know the time you were born?
Can we find this out? Can I
Well,
do it right now?
I'm going to do this for you after this. Immediately after we do this, I'm doing this
and we'll
for
update
you.
you next podcast.
Because, we will. And I actually have it written as a podcast is to talk about astrological personalities.
Cool.
Because I would not say that I totally believe in astrology to the point where, like, I think that, all these different movements of the moon and everything affect like your moods and that kind of thing. I think to some extent sometimes as a woman it's more likely to affect your cycle and things like that.
True.
But I don't believe in like prophecies around astrology, if that makes sense. However, I do believe that as a person, as a human, there are a lot of biological impacts as to who you are. Like the time when the time and season you were conceived, the time and season you were brought into this world, the time and season that you experience certain things like puberty or whatever. These are all impacts who you are because you're growing up during like the dark time, the sunny time, the new life time, the shedding of the old time. Like these are all different periods of the year, right? And so I do think that has an impact, especially because it can impact your mother's behaviour as well. Like if she gives birth in December and it's dark all the time, she might be at home more. Maybe she'll be sadder because most people are just sadder in the winter, and that will impact who you are as well. And so I believe in that concept a lot more than I believe in like the stars aligning type thing. But I'm not saying it's not true. It's just like I've picked an area in which I find it works for me. Okay. You take what you like with religion. You take what you can, and you leave what you don't. Yeah, take what serves you.
And what doesn't, you go goodbye. You know
Exactly.
where the door is.
Exactly. So on the astrology piece, your rising sign is your personality outwardly. So it's who you project into the world. So branding wise, you want to look at your rising sign. So my rising sign is Sagittarius, and Sagittarius are very enthusiastic. They're very open-minded and curious. They're also quite harsh and like truthful to a fault at times. Okay. And they are purpose-driven as well, and that really feeds into me in like my life. It's just so completely true for who I am. They also tend to be world travelers. I am definitely a world traveller, and they are, they stand on business. They stand on business. They're quite like defiant in certain terms. Okay. Yeah. In a good way, in a very positive way, an open-minded way kind of thing. Whereas a Libra is somebody who's a mediator. They're always, trying to find the balance of things, and they find it hard to take sides. And that is incredibly true for my personality as well. But what I put out into the world is a lot more enthusiastic and certain than that, if that makes sense. Okay. So on the inside I might be battling with an idea, but on the outside I stand by one and I put that out there.
So once you've made your decision and you've done it, you go with it.
I tend to stand by it. I stand by it for that time period, but because of the Libra I might then change my mind in the future. It's a little bit of a balance. But the rising sign is your outward personality, and if you look into branding or personal branding based on your rising sign. So I googled, because there's people out here who do all this work for you basically, and you just read their website. So
sounds like my kind of thing.
So if you Google Sagittarius personal branding style, there's actually a website where they even put down like the colours. So dark green, coral and pale pink are like my branding colours, because when you look at branding, you feel an emotion when you see colour, right? That's normal. If you see lots of green and yellow and blue, you'll think nature, natural, outdoors. Okay. If you see lots of red, black and silver, you'll think sexy, dark, that kind of vibe. Mysterious. Yeah. Okay. So when you think dark green, pink and coral, you think kind of like friendly, open, like natural, that kind of clean, that's the kind of vibe, and that is who I am. So, what are you doing?
I'm finding mine.
Are you? Amazing.
But keep going, I'm curious.
So, anyways, that concept is just so pivotal, I think, to who you want to put out into the world. And so if you're doing your branding, 100%, let's find your rising sign. Let's find out the kind of colours, the kind of aesthetic, that kind of thing.
And how? Why? For what purpose? Is it meant to be because it's more representative of you and you're less likely to change your mind because that is more your personality?
If anything, it's that is who you should be. It's aligned with who you are.
Okay.
So it's basically saying if you're finding that you are struggling to find your niche, for example, when it comes to music, you have a few different things you're interested in, you have a few things you've admired of other people's, but you don't know if it's for you, like you love Taylor Swift, so you've tried some Taylor Swift style music, but now you're going down some darker themes because you're interested in that. You're trying lots of different things, not a bad thing, but this might help you actually narrow down what direction makes the most sense for you, based on intrinsically who you are. Acceptable. Do you know what time you were born?
I think at like 12 o'clock, roughly.
Okay.
On a Wednesday, 2nd of April, 1997, which does make me a Gen Z.
I am the last
researched
millennial.
this.
Oh, I am the last millennial.
You're the last millennial?
Yeah, because I'm.
You mean the first millennial?
No, I'm the last millennial because I'm October 1996. And I'm not
There's millennials after you.
Yeah, but I'm the last millennial.
No, I think it's the other way around. But anyways,
I am the last millennial because millennial ends 1996.
That's the Sagittarius coming.
You're
through.
the first Gen Z. I'm the last millennial.
But am I not the last year of the Gen Z before? Because the years
I was born before you.
Which means you're the last
millennial. What are you on
You
about?
can't be born before me. Then you're Gen Z as well. I was born before. No, you were born before me. You're a Gen Z. Anyways, we're not having.
No, I'm not. I'm the last millennial.
Well, I'm definitely a bloody Gen Z. Okay, that's it's about to be my
April
Insta bio.
2nd, 97, and then 12 noon.
Yes.
You're the first Gen Z.
Oh, fine. And I'll be interested to see if this aligns with what I feel. I'll do it now. I'll say it. I'll state it now, and we can see what it actually comes up with. But in my various musical projects, I have represented myself in different ways. So when I do a folk project, I wear folk outfits, and what I post online is very much like lyrics from songs, and I'm quite wordy, and I'm quite sort of insightful. When I do pop music, I'm a little bit more jovial, and I have more sort of behind the scenes sort of bloopers, and I'm just a bit more, I wear colours. And then when I do the jazz project, I wear dark clothing and I wear black, and I wear a bit more moody and broody. And I feel like my personality is more of the pop, like it's more of the sort of happy-go-lucky, we're just having fun kind of thing. But I really like how I represent myself when I wear the dark. When I'm more mysterious, when I'm black and white photos, when I'm holding back more, when I'm random quotes that don't actually mean anything, when I'm more obscure. I enjoy how I feel in myself when I experience that. It might not actually feel like it comes naturally, but when I represent myself in that way, I like it. I like feeling a bit darker and sexier and mysterious. Like, I enjoy how that makes me feel. So
ask your mum later what your ask your mum later what your star sign is. I know your birth time is, and I'll do your branding for you.
Thank you. Excellent.
Fascinating. Anyways, we were on the concept of personal branding and your new EP and exploring those darker sides and everything.
Yeah, and then it was leading into my. I don't know who needs to hear this.
Yes.
But something that is serving me very well at the moment and has served me well in the past to an extent is the best way I can put it is how I actually have it in my mind, which is the fuck it mindset. The fuck it mindset is not natural to me. I normally obsess and worry about everything, and every decision I make is very careful and considered. I'm not the type of person that's gonna like jump off a cliff and go bungee jumping and just do things on a whim, right? But I have found that the best experiences I've had and the most that I've learned about myself and the most growth that I've achieved is when I have done things without thinking, because my brain stops me from doing things that I want to do. Like, it talks me out of things very, very quickly and very finally. But had I listened to my brain and my fears and my doubts and my inner critic, and not literally just one day woken up and decided I'm going to quit my job today, like I'm going to hand in my notice, I'm going to do it. I almost did it purposefully without thinking, because I was going to talk myself out of it very easily. So the fuck it mindset is not like, let's just do anything and not like give thought to anything. But it's that if you have an inclination that you want to do something and you back yourself and you know you'll be okay and you trust that you'll make it work, whatever happens, sometimes you just have to do it without thinking. It's like the opposite of what I've been told my whole life. Everything I've been told is think ahead of, like, plan things. Make sure you know what, like, have you thought about it? Have you thought it through? Is this what you want to do? Do you know how it's going to work? And actually, like, I had no idea how the music was going to work. I had no clue, but I just knew I was going to have to just take the jump.
Yeah.
It's like jump in. Jump in before, you know, you dip the toe in the water, and it's, I love my analogies. Maybe,
Climatize.
Right? Yeah, well, people say that. They're like, feel how cold it is first, but no, don't.
Just jump straight in.
Because you won't do it. Just jump in sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. And the more and more that I do things with the fuck it mindset in mind, where I'm just like, you know what, I'm not going to think about it too much, I'm just going to do it. I have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I learn, like I said, learn so much about myself. I learn because I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone. The opposite of the fuck it mindset, which would be the don't do it mindset, or the think things through mindset. That's the one that keeps you in your comfort zone, and it doesn't push you, and it doesn't grow you. My fuck it mindset is taught me so much. Some of which I haven't enjoyed learning, and some of which I have.
Yeah.
But if I had I not made those somewhat rash decisions, I genuinely don't think I would be coming to the point in my life where I am now, where I am starting to figure out what it is that I want, my purpose, what my purpose is to do on this planet. And I'm not saying I'm there yet, but that's the one thing that's been helping me. And I guess it ties in with your gut, right? It ties in with knowing what's right and trusting that and overriding your brain and your thoughts.
Yeah.
Going instead with your gut.
Yeah.
And doing it despite what other people may think, despite if you haven't thought it through, just trusting that
like
it will take you in the direction you want to go.
Yeah, it's like you're trying to outsmart the like worrying part of your brain by just being like, I'm not even going to address you, I'm just going to go and do the thing I want to do, and we'll deal with the consequences later.
Yeah. Which again, I'm by no means suggesting that you do that in every situation, because there are obviously dangerous things that you could, like, you could take it too far. But when it's things that you know you're going to be okay with, and you want to try it, and you think, actually, like, I'll be fine, I'll make it out of this, like, I'll be okay, then you just have to fucking do it sometimes.
No risk, no reward.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't go and gamble all your money away. That's not what we're saying. But quit your job to be a musician if you want to, and if you think that that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Definitely. Mindset. It's not very profound. It's not nearly as profound as yours, but it's literally just that. Trust your gut more than your brain.
I think it's true, because you can talk yourself out of anything, really.
Anything.
Like,
I do it so
easy to let your kind of inner critic know you're not capable of doing that, or your anxious thoughts, what if this happens instead, or your self-consciousness, what if they judge me for this? It's so easy to let those things win, because that your brain is trying to keep you safe. And they always say this in psychology, it's like, we still have the same kind of evolution that we did when we were running around the savannah, trying to protect ourselves from wild animals and things. So that fight, flight, freeze concept is it's still inbuilt into us. So therefore we're always on the lookout for something. You saw me jump out of my skin when Alex walked through. I jumped earlier when Cara's husband walked through the door, because I was like scared to see it, and like that is just like,
it's a natural
reaction. To something that's so silly. It's his bloody house. But I jumped. Because we have this like natural inclination to be on edge a lot of the time. So,
which served us then, just to interject, but doesn't serve us now. But we still act as if it does. You'll still jump, even though
logically I know there's no danger.
But it's ingrained in you. It's in your DNA. To react that way. And that is the same with every decision that I make. Is like, in the past, it probably wouldn't have been wise to quit my job to explore music when there was a massive recession, or when I had a massive mortgage, or I had kids, or like, I'm talking other generations, right? But I'm not in the past, I'm here now, and I don't have a massive mortgage, and I don't have kids, and it doesn't serve me to be financially anxious.
No.
It does the opposite. So I think it's, putting it into the perspective of where you're currently at. That's actually really interesting. That's true. That kind of generational sort of, well, it's not generational trauma, but it's that sort of biological, like, ingrained, that nature nurture, but it's the
Yeah.
nature part, right, where you are designed to fear things that
Yeah.
are different or that could have hurt you in the past, but they aren't now. They're not going to.
It's twofold as well, because not only are we biologically designed to stay within our comfort zone, to not leave the pack, you know, we want to stay with everybody, because otherwise if we walk out by ourselves, we could be eaten by a lion.
Yeah,
so there's that biological need, and then there's also the societal one that comes with that as well, which is like, that also is trying to keep you enclosed in the status quo. You know, why would you want to take that risk when you could have comfort right here? It's literally like we were talking about on one of our earlier podcasts about leaving your job, and you know, you've brought that up here as well. But people are always going to be scared for you because they're scared for themselves. Yeah. But actually, and your brain is scared for you as well.
Sure.
But actually, if you just take that risk, and you can also logic yourself into some things as well if you have to. Like, you can logic yourself into, if I don't do this now, then I never will. Like you did with
That's
the
true.
singing.
Yeah.
Try to outsmart that anxious part of your brain. But you're right, the best way is just be like, fuck it, I'm going to do it.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'm just going to do it. Like, fuck it, I'm just going to pour myself a glass of Pimm's. I said I wasn't going to, but I'm going to, because fuck mindset.
Exactly.
Live once.
One of my, I met up with one of my friends, and her mum was there. We were going to the Taylor Swift, and I've known her since third year of university, and I met her mum multiple times, and it's in the last, you know, I don't even know how many years it is since third year of university, but maybe like 7 years. In the last 7 years, I've changed tact like so many times.
Sure.
And I was talking about how I quit my job to my friend's mum, and I didn't really know what was happening next, but you know, we'll see what happens. And she goes, you know, I swear I've had this conversation before, Tash. She's like, this is you. And I was like, yeah, this is me.
Yeah,
like, that is who I am. I you know, the fuck it mindset is, I don't like this. I was at university, I didn't like what I was doing, so I just quit.
Yeah.
And I told my parents afterwards. And then I went back again and did a year, and then I was like, I need to go and travel, and I broke up with my boyfriend, and I just was like, I have to get out of here. So I took a year out, and I told my parents afterwards. I broke up with my boyfriend, I told my parents afterwards. I travelled the world, and then I came back, and I went back to uni, and then I was at home for COVID, and I was like, I'm going to move to London. And I told my parents afterwards. Because not only can you logic yourself out of these things, but also the people who care about you can logic you out of them too.
100%. 100%. There was something that you said, and it was so interesting, and it was going to lead me down another little wormhole of thought, which will come to me. Hopefully it will come back to me. Come back. Back into the air. It's
Do you want to listen back to it?
No thanks. We'll find it. I don't like listening to my voice. Hey, let's start a podcast. I'm just never going to listen to it because I hate the sound of my voice.
I get to edit it.
Yeah, lucky you. Hashtag not. Yeah, I think it is a valuable thing to be able to do, is to just jump before you look. And it's not easy, but you're right, like it's following, and it's being proud of it. Like, I'm learning to be proud of the sporadic, chaotic part of myself. Like, I really am. And despite, it still hits a nerve when people say, oh, you know, that's like Cara loves a drink, or Cara loves it, Cara never goes home, Cara never leaves a party, you know, and it's said in a sort of in a way that maybe has negative connotations to the certain people, or maybe I just put that on that because that's my fear, that people will think that I'm overstay my welcome, or I drink too much, or I dance too much, or I'm too loud, or I talk too much shit, or whatever. But actually, when I look back on those times where I'm having fun, I'm proud of that. I'm proud that people say, Cara likes to get everyone, Cara's forceful and gets everyone up to dance. Like, I'm proud that I make people have fun. Like, not make people have fun. I'm proud that I want to make people have fun. Or I'm proud that I want to have a good time. I'm proud that I don't leave the dance floor because I'm having the best night of my life. I'm proud that I change my mind all the time about things. I'm proud that I explore different musical adventures. I also get that a lot, like, oh, just stick with something, like, it'll be better if you just stick with one and grow your craft and folk music. No, I'm proud that I try different things because I push myself, and I like that side of myself. So it's not only learning to make those decisions and to try new things and experiment and jump and, you know, and say fuck it, but it's being proud of the person that you are in all of those, the versions that you are. Another podcast idea has just come to me. Taylor Swift, right? Yeah. Her different eras. There was someone, an influencer that I follow on Instagram, and they were saying something about be different versions, like women can be different versions of themselves in their lifetime. They don't have to stick with one. You don't have to have one job and then have it for the rest of your life and never change course.
Yeah.
You don't have to just be a mother. Or if you want to and you want to do something, fine, but you don't have to be. You can have your different eras. Like Taylor Swift has just done it so brilliantly. I know she's made a show of it too, you know, and that's part of the artistic creation that she's built. With the Eras tour, it's all very theatrical, but she has been different sides of herself.
Yeah.
And she was afraid, I think, when you listen to her talk about it and the documentaries, that she was afraid of what people would say when she turned into pop music and then she went back to folk and the reputation, how she presented herself. But yeah, be different versions.
Definitely, and that's a skill to be adaptable and agile like that as well. So that is something to be
Proud
of. But on that aspect, that concept we were talking about last episode on being a high value woman.
Yeah.
If you think about Taylor Swift as a great example with her different eras, the reason that she was able to do that was because she focused on herself, not how she was being perceived.
So true.
And all the time that you think, I
brave.
don't know how somebody else is going to perceive this. You are taking time, energy, effort, etc. away
Potential. You're
from
taking
who you could be.
Yeah, you're taking your potential away.
Yeah.
You are destroying your potential. And how brave, if she can do it with millions of eyes watching her and judging her, publicly judging her, and tabloids and media. If she can do it, like, you can fucking do it.
Yeah.
Like, you can do it.
I love that.
Yeah, that's a great. I'm talking myself into this. I'm gonna go and reinvent myself another time. I'm gonna be like a screamo music now. I'm gonna like be a rock star. I'm gonna go get a tattoo. Let's go. Come on.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Utterly Unfiltered with Cara and Tash.
With various versions of Cara that she can't quite decide who that she wants to be today. But yeah, thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week
For more chaos and
Utterly Unfiltered content.
yeah. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, listen, and then repeat it all.
And rate and review.
Utterly Unfiltered, Instagram, TikTok,
YouTube.
There you go.